Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Okay. Okay. So that was weird. That was definitely weird. Something going on with the interweebles. Um okay. We'll do these. So I asked what our conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is the level up, that it is time to level up, right? So, interesting thing happened this morning, and it made me think about something that one of you had commented yesterday. Hi, gays. It was gays. We were having a rather intense conversation um, about the progression of our healing and our process. Hi, Louise. And Gaze had asked the question, when is enough enough? Which is an absolutely understandable question, right? And I went ahead and I just kind of spoke my little heart out. Not against Gaze or anything like that. And I hope that's not how it was received, but just really speaking from the depth of the truth as I know it to be, from my life, my process, everything that I've observed happening, right? Hi, Aunt Shell. Oh my God, all my people are here. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, you know, um, it was this thing of like, we have to get it out of our head, this question of when is enough enough, because every time you level up there's going to be another round, another set of things that you need to experience in order for you to further develop in the way you're needing to develop, right? I was thinking about that yesterday, and because really, when I speak to you guys in these live streams, um it's kind of the only time that I'm able to quantify portions of my journey, my own experiences. I do daily self audits, right? Where I take a look at, maybe conversations that I've had, things that I've said, things that I've done, things I've decided, whatever it is. And really just kind of sitting and assessing, was that the best option? Was that the best way forward? Was there a better way for me to have done that? And it doesn't have to be anything drama. It's just, this very simple self-assessment that I do on a daily basis, oftentimes multiple times throughout the day. So I was doing that today while I was at the gym, kind of just that self-assessment that I was talking about. And, interestingly, it makes me kind of laugh because, it just, I don't know how else to take it, right? Interestingly, as I'm doing my routine, Michael tells me, don't forget to check TikTok. And I was like, why? Sometimes I'll check TikTok first thing when I wake up, just to see if there's um, any comments that are interesting enough for me to respond to, meaning like, with a video, right? Kind of share more information and whatnot. Well, wouldn't you know, another circumstance, another cycle, another repeating of the same thing. And I will say, my first thought, oh my fucking God, again, what the fuck is wrong with people? That was my first thought. Like, what the fuck? When is this gonna stop? And then blink. Didn't Gaze ask that question yesterday? Yes, it was a valid question. It's a valid question. Very valid question. And then I remembered my answer. And it took me a bit to really like settle that feeling, right? Because again, it's another cycle of a much larger content creator, and I'm not even a content creator, you guys. I just like post shit online. Well, actually, I don't even post it. My social media person posts things on my behalf, and it was this thing of this individual who I don't know, never knew existed until that moment. They went ahead and they duetted a video where it was a portion of a live stream where I'm telling our community that there is a cost when you practice the left handed path. There is a price that is paid when you seek out the assistance of demonic things to help facilitate your malicious, malignant intentions towards other people. So what did this person do? They went ahead, they created a duet of that video, giving it no context. They just showed the portion where for a couple seconds I'm speaking about something parasitic. There's a price to pay. And of course, with the music that's used, and that's to help gain some traction for the algorithm. With the music that's used, it looks and sounds spooky. And of course, they're like, I'm not going to bash this other creator, but if you want to live in that fear space or whatever they said. And it was like, what? Yes. And then they were like, if you want to pay her, and then she's going to kick you out of the program for parasitic stuff. And I was like, huh, that's an old narrative that was already proven false. It's a false allegation. When you're repeating false allegations, that's still slander. The best part, the best part was towards the end of the video, just like all the other videos. Towards the end of the video, there was a very quick, like, so I'm starting my classes very soon. You can sign up for my class. And that's what irked me. That's what irked me because it wasn't this assessment of me and my character and the truth of the situation that they're using as an example, nor was it an accurate contextual representation of what the video was actually talking about. It was simply this highly, in my opinion, manipulative tactic of presenting something in such a way in order to promote themselves. And that irritated me, and I was like, "God, I'm so sick of this. I've been dealing with this for so many fucking years. I'm so sick of it." I stay in my own fucking lane. I totally went off on this little thing in my head at the gym. I stay in my own fucking lane. I don't talk about anybody. I just do what I do by myself. And then it was this thing of, "Okay, girl, so now that you've gotten that off your chest, what is this really about? What is this really about?" It's not about when is enough enough. Because you went ahead and you said some really powerful things yesterday. I probably need to rewatch that video yesterday. I probably do. I probably do, to remind myself of the process that I'm actually in. So I had to ask myself, what is this really about? Okay, remove the emotion from this. What's happening here? Well, someone you don't know is trying to tear you down in order to promote themselves. And I go and look, try and see kind of what's happening here. And it's this thing of, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I get it. I get it. What's happening here is someone who clearly does not understand what I do and the gravity of what I do sees me as competition. Mm, It's not a me problem. Sound like a skill problem for them, if anything, like I don't compare to anyone. And then I dig deeper and it's like, okay, so let's try and understand for ourselves what's actually happening in this circumstance. Because this is not about me needing to feel the emotions of yet another attempt to publicly slander me. I have a legal team that handles that. And yes, absolutely. Immediately emailed the lawyer. Hey, got another one. Let me know how much to wire and you handle that. You handle that, right? So I don't need to worry about that. That's going to be handled. What is this really about? And I had to keep asking myself this. What is this really about? It's the level up. Because every time this cycle happens, for me personally, it is another opportunity for me to understand, for whatever reason, these people who have taken so much of their time and their energy to build a social media presence and business, because they're offering services, they put a lot of emphasis in what they're doing. They've accrued followings, hundreds of thousands, right? I'm over here with my little 19K. But to me, that's honestly, I don't even really consider hundreds of thousands. Like personally, I don't consider it a considerable following. I mean, it doesn't really mean anything about the substance of your content. It doesn't. Um, hell, I could post all kind of really scantily clad videos and photos of me. I could build a fucking following real fast off that. Hey, here's the reality. Whether I recognize it or not, there are quite a few people in this world who would find me attractive if I presented myself in that way. But is that a representation of me? No. So why would I do that? Only if I'm desperate to prove my value by way of showing a following. I'm not. So, yeah, I'm not going to do that. The numbers mean really nothing to me. So, what's happening here? Someone outside of me, even though I still am struggling to see the true gravity of the work I do, another person outside of me sees me as the benchmark for success in the spiritual industry, as a pioneer for the energetic work that is being done, and as the absolute measure of power. I mean, why else would complete strangers need to continue a lie about me, a person they don't know, before they promote themselves? Because it's the level up. Every time you face adversity, that is an invitation from your soul to dig deep and find deeper answers to questions you don't yet have the courage to ask. Why is this happening? Because the last couple rounds of this, it initiated the process of me beginning to see the actual gravity of me. And then I back down again, right? I back down again. That's what soul said. This girl. Initiate another cycle. Oh, fucking hey. Okay. Okay. So the level up is often something that we don't realize is a level up. As human beings having emotions, which are natural and normal for humans, um, we feel those emotions and then we lose sight of exactly what soul is trying to do for us. We lose sight of it. We enter into a space of a negative thought, a negative emotion, and then negative patterns become initiated. And then if you allow that to continue for far too long, you know what happens? You lose the drive, you lose the motivation, you lose the momentum you were already building to push forward powerfully, intentionally. And this is the pattern that's happening. I had someone very near and dear to me, very, very near and dear to me, reach out to me earlier. And they were telling me it was a business concern for them as well. Nothing serious, but um, it definitely requires someone who is an expert in the field to kind of look through things, make sure there's no loopholes, make sure any points of exploitation are closed off, and really just button everything nice and tight for the business. Again, nothing really bad is happening, but it's kind of like a triggering moment. And what I had told this person is like, boo, they're just fucking demons. This is what demons do. They try and shake you and rattle you. The reality is you're protected. You're protected. You already have the documentation that protects you. It's just a question of, is this enough documentation? Um, and usually when things like that happen, that's your soul giving you advance notice. You about to level up, babe. That abundance is kicking in, and your soul is making sure you have all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed. Babe, you're okay. You're okay. I'll give you information of who you can contact to make sure everything is copacetic. You're okay. Don't let it shake you. Don't let it shake you. As a matter of fact, I want you to use this anger energy that kind of built up because you're like, oh my God, what the fuck's going to happen? Build your booty with that. Booty gains. Get some booty gains. Go to the gym, pump that shit out. Hell yeah. Booty gains. It's the level up. I think for many people in our community, if you own your own business, you're going to find that you're going to be facing something within your business that's going to make you feel like, oh my God, did I not do enough? Did I make a misstep? Is there going to be a negative thing that happens because I didn't do X, Y, and Z? Step back for a moment. Step back for a moment. For all you know, this is just a recalibration to make sure everything is properly in place before your soul gives you an explosion of abundance that really you've worked so hard for. You've been working so hard for. It's the payoff. It's about to come. Soul needs to make sure everything's buttoned up. Soul needs to make sure that everything is buttoned up. So I gave them some tips about how I go ahead and I reduce the liabilities, potential liabilities for me and my business. It's important to do that. Um, maybe I'll have a soul based business workshop at some point, a virtual workshop. Maybe I'll do that again to make sure that all of you know how to run um, a soul based business, because the model these people are following on social media, it's like they get so mad at me. Why? Because I'm successful. Well, you see that I'm successful. I went through a lot to learn the things that I learned of how to protect myself and reduce liability. And people would say, you're just trying to protect your ass. Why would you not protect your assets as a business? That's nonsensical to not do that. Are you? That's why you're fucking failing at what you're doing. You think you're going to meditate your way into a very properly and solidly run business entity? You're fucking crazy if you think that. And let me tell you this. Okay? I understand why people on TikTok are getting so angry with me. I charge the appropriate price for the services I provide and the things that I teach. They can't charge that. They know no one will pay it. And they're pissed off that people pay me what they pay me for the services, the gravity of what I provide. Let me tell you, if I couldn't provide what I am offering to the degree that I'm offering it, I promise you, I would not have a thriving business 7, 8 years after. It will not be sustained. So I tell you this as my community. First and foremost, I am not the only one that you can go to for certain types of things. I'm specialized in certain types of services, but that might not be what you need. There are other people who have other specialties. I would never tear down a business just to promote myself. I'm very secure in what I'm providing. Very secure. I will tell you though, when a spiritual business is providing a service on a sliding scale, when they are respecting your financial space, that's bullshit, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. That's bullshit because what I see is someone who knows what they're offering you is not really what they worth what they're charging. So, in order to entice you, I'll let you figure out what you want to pay. It's okay. It's okay. You ever notice the price is the price for my services? There are times when I run larger coupons. There are times when it's just the standard coupon because I am taking into consideration everyone is going through something right now and has been since COVID started. Now, to respect your financial circumstance, I will work with you. I'll offer you a payment plan where there's no minimum per month. If all you can pay in the next 2 months is $5, then that's what you pay. Pay your bills first, pay your rent first, pay your utilities first, buy your groceries first. This shit can wait. And you guys have heard me say that in live streams. It can wait. That's how I respect your financial circumstance. But I don't advertise some type of sliding scale. If it's something spiritual where I'm being told by soul, I need to help you, there's never, fuck the sliding scale. Hey, let's get together behind the scenes. What can I do to help? As a matter of fact, you guys have seen me do this during expedites at times, like, oh, you just purchased the scan. I don't give a fuck about any of, like, I can't leave you like this. Is it okay with you if I work on you? You got to be very aware of how the spiritual industry is run. Because as you begin to level up, you'll have questions. I don't have all the answers. You'll seek services. I don't have all the services. I will not stop you from the experiences you need to have as an individual. Sometimes the experiences you need to have to grow you are negative. I don't like it. I don't agree with it, but I will never rob you of your opportunity to learn a lesson your soul believes is the best way for you to learn. It's the level up. Level up your awareness. Level up your trust in yourself. Make decisions. Trust yourself. It is not for anyone, including me, to tell you how to live your life, who to go to, who to not go to. It is no one's place to do that. And always be wary of a spiritual person who has to tear other people down in order to create a base from which they are going to promote themselves and their services. Just saying. Just saying. So the things that we're, the things that you could potentially be facing right now is a mirror of the shadow aspects of you, the parts of you that have the capacity to handle whatever it is you're handling or needing to handle. Let that come forward. Because if not, you're going to see someone who is a mirror of the toxic side of that, the unbalanced side of that. And if that happens, that's going to really trigger you. It's not a bad thing. It's an inconvenient thing. If we're going to be honest, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's usually a very inconvenient thing. So it's a matter of, do you want to be inconvenienced? And if you say no, I completely understand that. But is you not wanting to be inconvenienced a way for you to avoid whatever it is you're needing to learn? Because you need to learn whatever it is you need to learn. If you can take a look at the circumstance you're in, right? Take a look at it and ask yourself, what is soul wanting me to learn here? Then you don't have to bring it home to you. You don't have to fully experience the complete event. If it's not anchored enough yet, meaning it's just the beginning stages of whatever it is you're about to experience that's going to like majorly inconvenience you, you can still avoid it by learning what you need to learn, becoming aware of what you need to be aware of. For example, in real life example here, I was pushing myself a little too hard. It's a gym example. Because my life is home and gym. Sometimes grocery store, oftentimes just home and gym. So, um, it was recent. I was at the gym. I was pushing too hard. Coach told me I needed to place a heavier emphasis on hamstrings and glutes because I'm pretty atrophied in my posterior chain. But, I've been working on my lats and everything. That's growing beautifully. So it's have a heavy emphasis. I work out 6 days a week. Every workout involves some type of glute and hamstring something. Haven't been stretching because fucking I can't be bothered. That's my own bad. So I can't be bothered. And I know I'm not doing a good thing by not stretching. That's important. You need to release. You need to release. You can't just hold it all in. I started my corrective exercise specialist program, been going through the content, and Soul has me reread a specific paragraph multiple times. When there's tightness in the muscle, it leads to the start of an entire chain of events that eventually results in injury. And I'm like, whatever. It's not that serious. I don't need to stretch. I mean, I'll stretch later. It's not that fucking serious. Right? Total attitude. Because, I know everything about me. Many of us act like that. So I'm at the gym and I'm working out and I'm doing the Bulgarian butt biter. It's a split squat. That shit feels like it's biting my butt. So I was doing that and I could feel this doesn't feel right. This train chain is not tracking right. I could feel it. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do 8 instead of 15. I'm at 10. I'm like, bitch, you're not doing 15. You said 8, but no, stop. So I stopped. I switched to the other side because heaven fucking forbid. Heaven forbid I just listen the first time. So I start with it. After the second one, I'm like, oh, this is fucked. And I'm like, you can't be uneven. Do 8 more. You'll stop at 10. So I did that. When I got to 10, I felt my knee lock up. And then I felt a little pop. Yep. It was about to dislocate itself. I have Ehlers-Danlos. I have joint instability. So long as the muscles are functioning properly, that doesn't factor in. But the moment the muscles are tight, the moment the fascia is stretched as far as it can be stretched, and the muscle is not releasing because of all the inflammation, I'm fucked. So, what did I do? I was like, okay, I'll stretch. I promise I'll stretch. I'm going to stretch right now. And I go to stretch. I go sit on that bench and I put my leg up. I'm about to do like a single leg runner stretch, right? Where you grab your toes. Oh shit. Grabbed my leg real fast. I had to grab it to bend it, to create a bend, because the hamstring was so tight, it was pulling my lower leg back behind my knee. So I had to bend it. Yeah, I had to bend it. And then I had to put something behind my knee to keep that bend because I'm hypermobile and my joints often go beyond the angle that's normal and natural. So I had to put something underneath my knee so that I could begin slowly stretching it out. And Michael's in my ear. You sure you don't want to do a couple more sets? I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to get injured. He's like, you've been told. And I was like, I know. So I start to stretch and my front of my thigh, my quadriceps starts. It starts with this spasm. My muscles are fighting each other. They're fighting each other and I'm not listening. I'm not listening because why? Because I'm avoiding looking at myself. I'm avoiding allowing myself to recognize I'm on autopilot. I've been on autopilot for a week already. I can't do that to myself. Because when I enter into an autopilot state, my needs are completely disregarded. I have the heart of a warrior. Pain means nothing to me. This is how I've always been. I have an extremely high pain tolerance. It means nothing to me. I can bulldoze through pain, no problem. No problem. So, what am I really learning here? Well, that I've stopped considering my needs. For some reason, I stopped being kind to myself. For some reason, I've become strictly just goal oriented. I need to bang it out. I need to bang it out. I need to bang it out. Bang what out? Injury? Is that what I'm working towards? Injury? If I injure that knee, I'm going to be out for quite a few weeks. Everything that I've worked up to this point, my body's going to eat that. I know the way my body functions. I have 3 to 4 days of no muscle stimulation before my body will automatically earmark that body part to be dissolved, basically. My body's efficient. It's about survival. It will not hold on to anything that is wasteful. That means muscle. My body won't hold on to muscle. It'll eat it. I remember I got sick last winter time, and my son's girlfriend, she saw my physique before I got sick, and then I was sick for maybe just a week. It was just a week. It wasn't that long, but because I was as sick as I was, I had no appetite. I must have lost like an inch and a half in my legs in a week. My legs look really scrawny, frail even. And I showed it to her and she goes, "Oh my God, that was fast. Like you lost that much that fast." I was like, "I told you, my body's a fucking little beach." Fucking irritates me. I worked so hard for that. I worked so hard for that. Hey, I didn't eat. So what am I learning now in this moment? This moment where I was at risk of injury, but I stopped just in time. Just in time. I didn't get injured, at least not fully. What did I learn? I learned about where I'm at within myself. I learned about the fact that I'm restarting old cycles of complete disregard for my health, my safety, my needs. And that evening, as I was brushing my teeth, I didn't realize that I had kept my knee partially bent the whole day because I was so afraid that it would um, pop out of place and tear my ligament. And so I was already thinking, like, I need to slow down. I need to respect my process. Like, I can't just rush to achieve something that takes years to build. I need to respect that. I can push my body really hard. My body responds beautifully when it has everything it needs. When it has everything it needs, my body does not fight the process. And thinking that, I stood up straight, completely straight. And you know how I know I wasn't fully injured? Meaning I did get injured, but not severely. As soon as I stood up completely straight and I relaxed my quad, I'm very quad dominant. Um, I felt a pop behind my knee. It was partially dislocated. That's why it was bent the whole day. I didn't even stop to think. It was partially dislocated. No ligament tear, just partial dislocation. And when I released my glute death grip, because my glutes were clenched all day, um, that helped to get me to release every other component of my leg. And when I stood up straight, everything aligned and it popped back into place. If I didn't come to that realization at that point, you best believe I would have woke up the next morning or maybe in the middle of the night with my knee fully dislocated. I've done that before. Years ago, of course, years ago. But that's happened to me before. If you learn what needs to be learned, if you ask the difficult questions and really face yourself before the worst of the worst gets loaded onto the template, you don't have to experience that. Now, if I sat there or laid there in denial, telling myself, I just need to stretch. No, ho. Because I'm pissed at myself at this point. I'm like, no, you don't just need to stretch. You need to calm the fuck down because what you're doing is completely ignoring your needs. You're on autopilot. You're not paying attention. And I wasn't. I wasn't. A lot of what needs to happen is for you to simply pay attention. If you pay attention and you see things that you need to better understand and you ask the questions that you need to ask, you'll gain an understanding of what it is this situation is presenting to you. And if you could process that, if you can begin integrating some of the things that you're supposed to learn through that hardship, the start of it at least, you won't have to go through the worst of it. You won't have to. Soul is very efficient. It is all about initiating only as much as is necessary for you to learn what is absolutely necessary. So, for some of you, this is either you or someone in your life. They're operating in an upside down toxic masculine state. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form trying to say that men are the issue and men are toxic. I'm talking about how we all have both masculine and feminine energy. It doesn't even matter what your gender is or your sexual orientation. That's not even being included in this conversation. This is a masculine energy that's about domination. It is about, if you look at some of the behaviors of men over the history of human existence, some of the things men have done to each other as they participate knowingly or unknowingly in this fallen patriarchy system, it's heinous. It's heinous. You could be a woman participating in that same system. So there is something that's happening in your life. It's already being initiated, or it's been initiated and you're really starting to go through it. It's a start. It's still the very early stages. It has to do with domination. It has to do with disregard. It has to do with toxicity, compete, compare, just really some of the ugliest things that humans do to each other, and oftentimes do to themselves quietly, silently, secretly, right? You need to get a hold of that. And you need to sit it down and have a little conversation like, look, little motherfucker. Look here, little motherfucker. You need to chill. You need to chill out. It's not that serious. Okay. What's really happening here? Is this an old trauma rising to the surface, triggering us? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Okay. Let's address that old trauma. Let's look at it. Let's unpack it. And let's see what it's trying to help us see about ourselves, right? We need to see something about ourselves. And it's something that the awareness of it was first initiated during an older circumstance, maybe something even several years old. If you can address that, you can then reintegrate the part of you that you partitioned off in order to avoid the processing of that pain. You'll reintegrate that. And as you reintegrate that, you're further fortified. You are much better prepared to face the things that are needing to be faced, because guess what? Your soul is inviting you to create something. You're entering into a very prosperous period. It's the start of it. It's the start of it. You won't see the full effects of it for several more months. But if you start it now, oh my God, the way this pays off, the way this pans out for you, do it. Do it. Do it while scared. Do it while questioning. For whoever this message is for, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what the circumstance is for you, but I'm sure you know. I'm absolutely sure that you know. I'm absolutely sure, because you're over here like, oh, is she talking about what I think she's talking about? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. But I don't know what it is. I just know that's what I'm talking about, right? Part of the reason you're not allowing yourself to move forward and allow the first parts of this massive level up is because you're not balanced within yourself. This imbalance can present itself as like, you know, being more intuition, less logic. It has to be balanced. You have to have the appropriate degree of intuition and logic together. They have to be paired together. For some, it has something to do with you not allowing yourself to receive to the degree that you're giving. You need to knock that off right now. You need to knock that off right now. If you think that it's balanced for you to keep giving and never allow yourself to receive, not expecting a tit for tat, no, that's ugly. Don't do that. But just being open to receiving. If you refuse that, I mean, you know, if that's the case, you need an etch a sketch reset. Do you know how you reset an etch a sketch? You grab it and you shake the shit out of it. That's what it is. Okay. You're going to need to reset yourself if that's the case. Part of the way that I have this type of balance in my life is I give when it feels right. When my heart instructs me to give, that's usually instruction from soul. And I will give as much as my soul tells me to. Oftentimes, it's far more than what people would expect me to give. That's okay. That's okay. I will give as much as my soul tells me to. I have no problem giving because I know life and my existence It's circular. What I put out there, I always receive back. And it's not, well, I'm giving you $200. You need to pay me back. No, it's if my soul tells me that I need to help you by giving you $200, I have it here, have it. But I can't pay you back. I'm not asking you to pay me back. Do you need this? Have it. It's all good. Well, I don't want to owe you. I didn't say you owe me. It's not a loan. It's a gift. Take it. I was told to, you take it. It's yours. But Emmy, it's $200. Don't worry. I understand how my life works. What will happen is either I'll win something worth $200 or maybe even more, or a person who's been waiting to purchase something and I don't even know they exist, they suddenly go ahead and they purchase something on my website for $200 or more. It's usually more than what I give. All I know is I give, and when I need, even without saying anything to anyone, soul has a way of giving me what I need. So I'm not in a fear of lacking. I'm not in a scarcity mindset. I just know whatever I need, my soul finds a way to get it to me in the time that I need it. So sometimes, it cuts it close and I'm kind of like, but it always happens. It always happens. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid. Mm, mm. This is the program they're trying to push. A lot of things are suddenly going from bad to worse. Final hours, last chance. And I don't give a shit. My soul doesn't go based off of Gregorian calendars, nor am I run strictly by my human feelings. I will temper what I feel. I will make sure I return back to a space of center. And I will never allow myself to forget that soul always provides everything I need when I need it. I know I'm taken care of in that way. I know I'm taken care of in that way. I trust completely and fully. Whatever's happening right now in my life, I've felt what I needed to feel, processed it, purged the rest of the feelings, stored whatever the energy was that needed to be stored. I'm aware of what I'm in the process of currently learning. I'm ready for the level up. I'm ready. Soul, please make sure you guide me extra close because I got a habit of not fucking listening. I promise to try though. I promise. I promise to try. I will genuinely try. But soul, if you see me kind of veering to the side a little bit, driving braille a little bit, you just like a little tap me back into place. Tap, 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 tap. And I will become aware that I need to be mindful of what I'm doing in the moment. There's a rebirth that's happening, and it's happening right now. For many of us, what we're going through is actually the process of rebirth. We are allowing the most powerful, or we're being invited to allow the most powerful parts of ourselves to step forward. If you're going to continue with this, extremely detrimental and deeply held belief that you are not worth what you are being offered, that you deserve the ugliness that some people are just ever so generous with giving to you, then that is all you will have. The same misery, the same disappointment, the same lack of satisfaction with your existence. You will have that. Is that what you want though? Is that what you want? You know, um I know some of the mindsets logic and circumstance that I struggled through as a child, as someone who's always struggled to speak up for myself, to express my needs, to express my emotions. Um, I know people don't think I have that struggle. I fucking have that struggle so hardcore. So hardcore. I have that struggle so bad that I developed a thyroid condition. Ah, it's fucked. I know. It's getting better. And because I'm aware of these different types of struggles, um, I'm making it a point to express this to my children. Be very clear and hey, your needs, what you want is important. It's not okay to just consistently be like, "Oh no, I'm okay. I don't need anything." No. No, it's okay to want things within reason, of course. It's okay to want things. So I grew up with no I don't know, I think it's just my culture. I'm serious, I think it's just my culture. I grew up with no allowance. My parents were of the logic that if you need something, you just need to tell us, except I couldn't communicate my needs, so I often wouldn't say anything. I often wouldn't say anything. And, that was a very difficult thing. And as I've leveled up in my understanding of myself, I understand it's okay to have needs. It's okay to have wants. It's okay. It's okay. You're not going to get everything you want, but it's okay to share that you want something. So at one point, we gave our kids access to our Amazon. I know. We told them all to download the app and you just, if you need something, if you want to buy new clothes or you want to, whatever it is, you just put it in the Amazon cart, you let us know, and then we'll complete the purchase for you. Months go by, no one's put anything in the Amazon cart. And I'm like, hey, you need anything? No, I'm okay, mommy. Oh God, do you want anything? No, I'm okay. I don't want anything. Bullshit. Bullshit. Um, so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm very serious about my children not having the same struggle with communicating their needs that I've had growing up. So what's going to happen? They're having allowance. They're getting paid for the things that they do to assist me with my work stuff and quite a few other things. So they get something automatically direct deposited into their own accounts. It's not a large amount, you guys. It's not. It's a very small amount. And even with that, they're like, "Oh my god, that's too much." Like, knock it off. Let it sit then. Let it sit. I'm talking like $30, you guys. Like, what the fuck? That's not a large amount. Okay, that's not a large amount. And it's this thing of recognizing that it's okay to want something. Like, you have your money. You budget that out. Just because there's money in there doesn't mean you spend all of it. So you want something, you don't need to ask me. You have your own little budget of what you can spend. You want something more expensive, you're going to have to save for that. You're responsible for the balance in your account. And so now, every once in a great while, I see them get something because it notifies me. It's a like a custodial account. It notifies me. And I'm like, okay, see, they do want stuff. They do want stuff. Part of the level up you need to go through is understanding it's okay for you to want things. It's okay for you to properly receive in like measure as to what you are giving. And it doesn't have to come from the same person you're giving to. You just have to allow it to arrive. You have to. That's part of the gift that you are. You've given to someone else. And part of the gift that you are is allowing yourself to receive. It's important to have that kind of balance in your life, not to necessarily expect and be entitled. There's a difference. There's a difference. right? If I give you something, I don't expect you to have loyalty to me. Like, that's not why I help you. That's not why I do what I do. I do what I do because my soul tells me I need to do this. That you and I have agreed on a soul level for me to be involved to whatever degree I'm going to be involved and not to go any further than that. It's okay. It's okay for you to allow life and life circumstance to begin showing you how valued you actually are. You have a value that you don't realize. So allow life to show you you're more than just the animal suit that you wear. Animals in reverse. You're more than just a member of the animal family, the mammalian family. There's something that is so beyond divine and cannot be fully expressed or quantified in human terms that lives inside you. You don't have to keep track of how much you gave out to make sure you get that much back. That's not what you're being asked to do. You're just being asked to be open to what life and soul are giving you, are gifting you. Hearth in reverse. Comfort in reverse. That whole concept of, if you're spiritual, if you're a good person, you need to suffer. God did not ask you to come into physical form to suffer. And these people who have a problem with you being provided the very things that first you either earned, you worked for, you struggled to get or create for yourself, or you're just being given by soul, they got a problem with that. They need to take it up with God. They need to quit fucking bothering you and take that shit up with God. Because the reality is, God was the one that approved you getting whatever you're getting. Remember, you can work as hard as you want to try and achieve something. But if it is not greenlit by divinity itself, it will not happen for you. It just won't. You will not receive what you need to receive so long as you're trying to shove yourself in places and circumstances that you don't belong in. You have to allow life to guide you to where you belong. And being in a space where you're merely tolerated, or even worse than just being tolerated, where you can feel the ick of them not wanting you there, but not having the courage to say it to you. Even worse than that is when you're in a place where people are passive aggressive in their disdain of you. They'll make these little condescending comments, right? Oh, and they don't know what they did. Who cares if they know or not? You know. It's enough that you know, and you need to allow yourself to exit out of those spaces. I'll share this with you guys. There was this one social space with a couple other people. It was a private space, but this is where I would allow myself to socialize with a couple other people. And in that space, there was one person who um, would say these cutting little things, and I always just laugh it off because, like, oh, whatever, it's no biggie. I remember one time I was like, "Hey guys, I gotta go. I gotta get to work." And this one individual was like, "Oh yeah, she has to go. She has to go do her like stupid little YouTube thing." My what? And for someone who has such a shitty memory, the fact that I remember the exact words, she has to go do her stupid little YouTube thing. I didn't say anything. That time I didn't laugh it off. I was just like, okay, okay. And even with that, I still continued for a couple months to try and have social interaction. And my attempts to, just kind of check in and kind of just like, hey, what you doing today? How's your day? I'm not very good with socialization, and I'm not very good at consistently checking in. Um, yeah, I'm just not. But I really put an effort with that. Um, and it was largely ignored, like completely ignored. There, from my standpoint, there was no attempt to reciprocate my desire to like bond on a deeper level and really enmesh each other in our personal lives and existence. There was no sharing of even, just small good things like, hey, guess what? There was nothing. And oftentimes there was also no response at all. And so I said, okay, I hear you, soul. This is not where I belong. This is not where I belong. It's okay. And then, of course, as soon as I disengaged, finally, because I went quiet, but I hadn't disengaged. My energy was still very present. Like, please, please be a part of my life. Please let me be a part of your life. I won't be intrusive. I want to be with you, right? I want you to be with me on my journey. I want to be able to share with you. And then when I finally was like, all right, I don't give a fuck. Capricorn, right? Capricorn. I don't care. You don't want to be around? Okay, I won't be around. It's no fucking big deal. I already have my inner circle that loves and respects me and knows how I am with not being able to sustain prolonged checking in. I go quiet sometimes, but I always pop back up. I love deeply. Whenever you need something, I'm there. I don't need to be in spaces where I'm even less than just tolerated. And then, when I pulled my energy back, there were attempts after that, attempts to video chat. I'm busy. It wasn't even me being petty. Like, I literally, and this person should have known. I don't know how they wouldn't know. The attempts to video chat like repeatedly, one after another, after another, after another, which I ignored because again, I was busy, right? That was my child's birthday. I was in the middle of baking his birthday cake. I'm fucking busy. I'm not going to play with you. My family and my peace are my priority. Fuck your feelings. Fuck your feelings. And then there were texts that came in, not a lot. And the last one, I was like, oh, I haven't heard from you. Of course you haven't. I finally accepted what you had been communicating this entire time. Of course you haven't heard from me. Am I angry? No. I'm just now in a space of acceptance. I don't belong around you. My existence offends you. I respect that. I will not play fake with you, though. Once I accept that I have no space in your life, in your heart, I accept that. You will not reel me back in. I understand the way I love. I will make excuses for you. I will let you hurt me over and over and over without saying a word. But when I've had enough, meaning I finally understand, you are either unwilling or incapable of treating me with the degree of dignity I deserve and have earned, I bow out and I leave you alone. And you will not reel me back in. That right there is one hell of a motherfucking level up, because I'm not leaving on the basis of being angry or hurt. I'm leaving because I'm finally tired of standing at a table that still had empty chairs, but you didn't want me to sit down with you. That's okay. That's okay. Please don't offer me another seat, though, because to do so would be to insult my intelligence and my emotional intelligence. I respect that you don't want me around. And in that, the adversity, I grew and I learned and I leveled up. Again, no anger. No anger. It just is what it is. A recognition that we are not compatible. We haven't been in a very, very long time. And I will still have love, but silently from afar. I will forever be rooting for them, but I will never again allow access to me. Not when you've repeatedly disturbed my peace with zero provocation. Expansion. You will not expand as long as you continue to exist in spaces where you know you're just shoving yourself in there. You know that the people in those spaces, the energy of that space is offended by your presence. And you might wonder, well, what did I ever do? You shined. You shined and you had compassion. You oozed softness, forgiveness, and grace. Sometimes being all those beautiful things is seen as offensive by people who want what you naturally are because they don't like themselves. And so they want to be a caricature of something they think is beautiful. And rather than simply complimenting you and pointing out the beauty of how you exist, instead they tell themselves an entire story in their head. You know what? Michael says I screenshot something that applies. I don't know, what is it? Hold on. What is it? Ooh, yes, this. As I look back on my life, I realize that every time I thought I was being rejected from something good, I was actually being redirected to something better. And you see that circumstance that I told you guys about. Um, man, it was a little bit difficult coming to that conclusion simply because of the degree of loyalty that I have to this specific individual, the most hurtful one. I had a degree of loyalty to them that just, yeah. It was in that hardship of realizing that my loyalty was the only reason I was still around. It wasn't because I was being treated nicely. It wasn't because I was being welcomed and loved in a reciprocal manner. It was because I was loyal. And in that, some would be like, oh my God, that's so sad. Yes and no. Yes and no. It's always sad when something ends, um, but it's not necessarily destructive. In that level up, as the process of that level up progressed, right before the moment of leveling up, I realized, what am I doing? Like, I already have a family around me, more than just my husband and children. It's not a lot of people. It's not. It's like a handful of people. But the kind of love they show me, it's like I don't need anything else. When I have a hardship, when I'm struggling to understand my life, when I'm hurting, do I go to that person that I'm loyal to? No. I couldn't even share with them some of the things that I've accomplished that we should have celebrated together. I never even shared it. That should have been my first red flag. I never shared it. But this handful of folks, my first thing was like, guys, guess what? And they're like, I knew you would. I knew you would. Congrats. They're all I need. I already have everything I need. And maybe that's part of your process of leveling up, understanding that you have everything you need. And now you're simply working on the things you want. And as long as what you want aligns with what you need, there's no reason creation, God, your soul, whatever you want to call it, there's no reason it won't give it to you. But if what you want is in direct contradiction with what you need, babe, you're not going to get it. It will not be allowed. Your soul will not allow you to harm yourself unnecessarily. It will not be allowed. You will struggle and waste so much of your time and your effort, and you will never level up to the degree that you manifest what you want. If what you want is in direct opposition to what you need, it will not happen. Not now, not ever. So accept that. And start aligning what you want with your needs that you're aware of. And for the needs you're not aware of, ask your soul to start giving you the opportunity to create awareness within yourself. And then start trusting yourself. Start trusting yourself. It's important. It is important. There is a darkness that's coming through. Card number 7, darkness, moon. Moon typically represents things that are hidden. So there's a darkness, a shadow that's coming through. It's hidden from you. Does darkness intrinsically mean evil? No. Darkness usually indicates something being hidden from you. And I don't know if you realize this, you hide a lot from yourself. You hide a lot from yourself. You pretend you don't know these parts of you exist, these beautiful, powerful, valuable parts. You pretend it doesn't exist because you just want to fit in. You just want to be like everyone else. Babe, that want, you will never have it. Why? Because it's in direct opposition to your need. God created you to stand out, and you need to stand out. So wanting to blend in will never work, no matter how much you hide about yourself. It just never will. And the more you try to hide the most beautiful, most powerful parts of you, the more you will hurt, the more uncomfortable and flat out painful it becomes. The more you hate yourself, the more you hurt inside. What do you even hate yourself for? Because someone told you something about you? What if I told you they hate themselves and what they said to you was a projection of their self-hatred, their self-abnegation, and they want you to join them there? They want you to feel about yourself the way they do. I've had this happen to me quite a few times. I have. And I've learned over the years that I will not fucking join you there. You can hate me all you want. While you hate yourself, yeah, you could hate me all you want. I won't be around to witness it. Because first and foremost, I've never done anything to deserve that. I have not earned that. And I refuse to accept that. I will not settle anymore. I won't. I won't. And they will tell you that's you being unreasonable. It's not unreasonable to have standards. What's unreasonable is when someone tries to dictate to you what your standards should be and that you should lower those standards simply because they can't reach those standards. Tell me you're mediocre without telling me you're mediocre. Tell me you're jealous without telling me you're jealous. Those are the actions that tell you. Their actions tell you. People can say whatever they want to say, but their actions absolutely tell you. That one person was like, I missed you. I hope you're okay. I haven't heard from you in a while. "Yeah, you missed me when I was trying to talk to you and have interaction with you. You couldn't be bothered. And I could feel you get annoyed." See, that's the thing. People don't realize I'm so fucking sensitive. I'm so sensitive. I can feel when you receive the text message, and I can feel you roll your fucking eyes when you see that it's me just saying hi. Keep that energy. I'm not going to match it, but I will recognize and move accordingly. Here's another one. It's never luck. That woman has been working hard as fuck for the love and life she deserves. Ooh, ooh. That's just good. That was good. Wait, there's another one. What's hold on. Let me scroll. Let me scroll. What is this? Oh, this. Yes.
Go find less. You should double down on being different. You should double down on your intensity. You should have people telling you you're too much. And then you can politely say in your head, go find less. I know where I'm going. The ability to be misunderstood for long periods of time by everybody, including your friends, is required to do something extraordinary because of that word extra. If you acted ordinary, you'd have the same life as everybody else. But instead, you act extra.
Ooh. Permission to be extra. Permission granted. Be extra. Be extra because, as he said, you are designed to live a life that's extraordinary. And if you are not extra, then what you're left with is the word ordinary to describe an ordinary life that you were never designed to live. So be you. Maybe that level up is you realizing that you, in fact, are extraordinary. And here's another one. I think someone needs to hear this. I don't know who, but someone definitely needs to hear this. That's what Michael said. I'm just repeating what he said. I have a feeling I have a feeling he's going to be talking shit. Is violence. Okay. Here.
I would never forget how you switched up on me to make somebody else feel comfortable. I will never forget how you switched up on me to make somebody else comfortable. Baby, you got to stay over there, okay? There's no room in the end over here for you. It's over. It's done, and I don't care how long it's been. I don't care what's happening to you in your life. You got to stay over there. You made a choice. And now you have to deal with it.
She's adorable. She's adorable. Look how adorable she is. Oh my God. I love her. I don't even know her, but I do. I have love for her. Um, All right. So, as you begin to realize this and you begin to stack things up that no longer have space in your life, you're going to begin to realize that those things are meant to serve as fuel. Fuel for what? Fuel for your rise, the bushfires, fire or fury, bushfires. You know what this is telling you? I tell you. Burn the bridges that allow toxicity back into your life. May the bridges you burn light your way back to yourself. You're like, I never burn bridges. Well, why? I burn bridges. I absolutely burn bridges. Why don't you ever burn bridges? Well, for some, it's a tactical maneuvering, which is very understandable. It's not necessarily that they're manipulative or anything like that, but it's a very tactical decision. It's purely based in a transactional connection. I will not burn bridges with you in case I need your input, assistance, or whatever for some type of work thing, a professional thing. So I won't burn bridges with you. For me, if I see that there's no resonance, I don't want to do business with you. Like, I don't want that. So to burn a bridge is not necessarily to start shit. It's just that I will never allow you to access me again. I won't. And I'm not going to apologize for that. Because now your girl has standards. I'm an empath with standards. It's tickly. It is. It's tickly. Attraction, magnetism, but it's in reverse. So long as you keep all of that toxic caca around you, toxic people, toxic circumstance, toxic, la toxica, you're going to repel everything that's meant for you. You're going to repel it. Do you want to repel or propel? Do you want to repel or propel? Because for me, I think I would like to propel. I think I would like to continue my forward trajectory in whatever direction soul sends me. Forward trajectory does not mean just straight ahead. It means in whatever direction. It could be a right turn, left turn, a U turn. It could be whatever it is, upwards, downwards, but it's a forward momentum. I'm no longer willing to go backwards in life. I'm not. I will experience things every once in a while where unknowingly I am kind of backsliding a little bit without realizing, right? Hence unknowingly. And the moment I become aware of that backwards movement, I have an obligation to myself to correct and redirect. What is that? Someone is watching and they're having intense emotions. You know, you wouldn't have such intense swings of emotion if you would not allow yourself to get so intoxicated to whoever that person is. I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just speaking openly and from the heart. I would love for you to one day soon experience some degree of emotional stability. I don't know what it is about me that triggers you, but if I trigger you to that degree so consistently, it would be to your benefit to just stay away. And I don't mean stay away because I don't want you around. I don't even know who you are, and I'm not going to try and find out who you are. But your pain is palpable, and I can taste the intoxication. I can smell it and I can taste it. If you need me to help you with something, you need to verbalize that rather than just find me on live streams and bleed all over the space that did not wound you in the first place. Neither of us deserve that. I don't know. Maybe you're still unsure. I can understand that. Maybe you've never met someone like me that has the capacity to assist with no condemnations of you and your history. If you don't take that chance, you'll never know. And I will not force myself upon you. I will not force healing on you. I will not force comfort, nurturing care on you. I'm capable of a lot. One of the things that I'm most capable of is respecting someone's decision when it comes to me and my presence in their life. I'm going to now disallow any of your energy and experiences to enter into my field. I don't want to experience what you're experiencing. As someone who has struggled for many years with clinical depression, I will not allow you to bring me back there. But I will also, at the same time, in the same breath, invite you to exit out of that pain and join me in a space of peace, a space of healing potential. I say potential because the choice is always yours, whether you want to heal or not. It's time to level up. That won't happen if you're afraid of heights. Clarity, mountain. If you're going to climb the mountain to get to the top, what's the point of doing that if you're too afraid to look down to see how far you've come? How can that benefit your future if you refuse to look down and see how much further to go and what direction to go in? You see, you don't just climb up the mountain to see how far you've come. You're in the present, you're in the now. And the way you calibrate yourself for your future potential is seeing how far you've come and also taking a good look at how much further you have to go. So you can be clear about how much effort is needed still. And you might have climbed a mountain thinking that's the end all be all. It's a mountain range. There's many mountains to climb before you get to the other side of that range. And you will never know what's there if you don't place the effort and don't accept the process to gain the understanding of where your soul is guiding you to go. The hungry ghosts, obsession, scarcity, consciousness, and attachment. When you struggle with these things, it's going to make it very, very hard to level up. It's going to make it very, very hard to let go of the very existence that's brought you so much pain, that's caused you to remain in these cycles of self-abnegation. The Fire Prince in reverse, optimism and aggression. So you're not optimistic, but you're also not aggressive. That tells me you're in a rut. You're stuck in place, not knowing what to do. You know, sometimes when you're stuck in place, you have to go backwards for a little bit before you can go forwards. Sometimes you have to. It's okay. Life is a dance anyways. It's not a march, it's a dance. It's a back and forth. It's a great graceful movement with powerful positions as well. The prison wave, self-sabotage, poverty consciousness. See these types of struggles? They're very, very common. It's not evidence of you being weak or you failing. It's evidence of you being part of a human experience. That's all it is. That's all it is. We all go through these things. We all go through these things, these worries, these fears. It's normal. It is normal. But just because something is normal doesn't mean it's healthy. Anything in excess of moderation can be very unhealthy. When you receive the appropriate amount, when you receive what is actually needed, well then, oftentimes it leads to better function, better form. But when it's too much, not only can it hinder, it can also injure. The Horse King, assistance and control. For some of us, we need some assistance. We need someone in our life who cares deeply about us, to assist us, to help us get out of this space of lack of clarity, this space of distorted perception of ourselves and our value. But we don't want to give up the control. We don't want to admit that we need someone who's not emotionally immersed in the circumstance to be able to give us clarity. I don't know what to tell you. If that's what you need, then that's what you need. And if that's what you refuse, then you're going to be stuck. You're going to stay stuck. And that's that. That's that. I get this visual of a couple whose car has gotten stuck. They're trying to make a U-turn on a forest access road, and the driver doesn't realize that the vehicle is kind of on a three-wheel motion. Only three wheels are on the ground. They kind of went up the curb of the hill. And the driver is like trying to gun it, to force it. And the passenger gets out and is like, let me look what's happening. And they see it's a three-wheel motion. And the driver doesn't want to listen because ego. You're not going to tell them that, they're stuck. They're just going to keep trying to gun it. Well, if you do that, your wheel that actually has the traction, it can't do anything except dig itself deeper. So what's the solution? You need to first fucking stop gunning it. Put that vehicle in reverse to see if you can back up just enough to get your ass off the three-wheel motion. And if you can, then you can go ahead and make a 3-point turn and you can continue on your merry way. You can't just keep forcing things. Sometimes when you get stuck, that's your soul letting you know you need to just back up a little bit. Back up for a second. Reassess, pause, and reassess. You can't force everything. As much as I'd like to try, it doesn't work. The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help, but it's in reverse. So this is telling me what? That it's time for you to see the big picture. There is a shift that's needing to occur in the way you operate and interact with your environment. Soul is giving me all kind of instruction today. It just is. It is telling me all kind of things. There's like secondary layers and levels of messages, secondary and tertiary. I get it, soul. I will do as you say. I will do as you say. You see, because guess what? Even though I went through a mini level up recently, level up in that I'm better understanding some of the processes that I'm in, soul has planned for me a massive level up. I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know how that's going to pan out in my life, but I need to get on board and just be compliant. It's for my benefit anyways. It's to benefit my healing, to benefit my growth, and I just need to allow it. I deserve to know who I am after I'm done with this process. I will not rush the process, but I also will not delay it. I deserve to know who I am after I learn what needs to be learned in this. The map maker of destiny, authentic purpose, inspiration, and free will. If you use your free will in that way, you'll have less struggle. In the way that I just said, where it's like, I will comply, soul. I know you're trying to do something of benefit for me. I will not fight you. I will not try and delay it. I will trust you fully, completely, wholeheartedly. Gaia's garden, see? Fruition, abundance, reaping what you sow. You're about to receive the very things that you need, the very things you've worked so hard to do. Allow the process. That's all you're being asked to do. Allow the process, open yourself to receiving, and I think you'll be very surprised how this plays out. The crazy wisdom, faithful or wrathful Buddha. Let go of being logical. A higher wisdom will guide you. You see what I'm saying? Your higher self is getting ready to Buddha palm you in your face. Your higher self is getting ready to Buddha palm you. Please don't force it. Just comply with what your soul is trying to get you through. Just, you don't have to comply with anyone else, trust me. It's very hard to get me to comply with things that I don't agree with, but with soul, it's like, okay, you want me to what? Okay, sure. Right now? Okay. I will, soul. I'm listening. I'm behaving. I'm behaving. I'm behaving. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, I believe you, soul. You just, yes. Okay. 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 All right. So breathe deep and slow. We're about to get more truth. Old age brings wisdom and fierce certainty. Oh, shots fired. It's in reverse. So, for some of us, you haven't been learning what you need to learn, and you're using your older age or maturity kind of as a reasoning as to why you're choosing to continue to adhere to the same belief structures, the same patterns that have not resulted in what you want coming to fruition. Michael says, that's not what I said. What you said was really rude. Do you guys want to know what Michael said? And I'm just like, I'm not saying that. You let me know if you guys want to know Michael's exact words. Okay. Okay. Giving creates a flow of health and love. The flow requires everything to circle back around to you so that you're not in a space of depletion. Part of the level up is allowing yourself to receive. You are fine just the way you are. You are fine. This process is a natural part of your process. You're going to be perfectly fine. It's uncomfortable, but so is working out when you haven't worked out in years and you're re entering the gym for the first time in forever. That's uncomfortable too. Eventually, your body acclimates as long as you continue, right? Life will be an adventure if you let it unfold from within, but you're not. So, as of right now, rather than life being an adventure, life has become some type of prison. Liberate yourself, babe. Liberate yourself. Let yourself free. I'm like a bird. I always fly away. Don't fly away. Oof. Oof, 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 oof. The entire universe manifests out of awareness. The entire universe manifests out of awareness. So if you're only allowing yourself to be aware of hardship, of struggle, of pain, of scarcity, poverty, that is all you will manifest. That is all you will manifest. Personally, and this is just my personal opinion, I personally feel and wholeheartedly believe you deserve more than that. I don't need to receive for you to receive. I just want you to have at least a little something for yourself. I genuinely mean that. At least a little something for yourself. Hold on to a little something for you. You give so much, you give everything away. You weren't asked to suffer just to prove you're a good person. You were born good. Just be yourself. You're worthy as you are. Cultivating a well-rounded personality brings fearlessness. When you allow yourself to recognize that every aspect of you has a proper purpose in your life, meaning, yeah, the rude parts of you also have a purpose. It's not just the kind, soft, love and light parts. The rude, dark, rough, and raw parts also have a purpose. I mean, that part of you speaks the language the demons can understand. The language of back the fuck up, leave me the fuck alone. Sometimes you got to speak their language in order to properly communicate the violation of your boundaries. You got to know how to speak to people. Some people must be spoken to in a soft manner. Other people better leave me the fuck alone, is what those other people. I don't want to talk to you. I'm not your mama. I'm not your mama. Go talk to your mama about that shit. You not my problem. The fact that you don't understand your behaviors, a major inconvenience, not just for me, but for everyone that has to deal with that shit. Go talk to your mom about it. I don't want to deal with those kind of people. I just don't. The reason I don't is because soul keeps bringing them across my fucking Capricorn path. I've seen so many videos at this point where soul is trying to let me know. And even one of my really, really good friends once said that by the time someone who's an issue crosses your path, it's because it's such an issue that their soul has asked you to step in. Because I will straighten that shit out. I don't play with people. I don't play with people. You will not act however the hell you want with me. There needs to be a minimum degree of reciprocal respect. Right? So for some of us, you're being given the answer as to why you constantly have to deal with those type of people, because you're the only one their soul trusts to put them back in their proper place. Right? So do it, get it over with, and you can carry on. By your quiet listening, you can liberate others from fear, but it's in reverse. So you're being tasked to do more than just listen. You're being tasked to speak fearlessly. I'm going to keep speaking because I was thinking, like, I just really, I don't want to live stream anymore. I haven't in a long time. I never wanted to begin with. Michael goes, in a long time. No, you're right. I never wanted to. But that's part of what my purpose is, to speak loudly, to speak fearlessly. So that's what I have to do. That's what I have to do. Okay? Whatever your soul is tasking you to do, bring it into form. Make it happen already. Make it happen already. New birth guarded vigilantly. As you level up, you're going to experience a type of disconcerted awareness. You're going to be more aware, but you're not going to be sure what you're aware of. That's because that space that you just recently leveled up into, it's still foreign to you. You will acclimate. Until you acclimate, you have to be very careful about what you allow in, who you allow to influence your thoughts and your perception of yourself, how and who you model your behavior after. Right? And most of all, you have to have faith in the process. Oops. You have to have faith in the process. There's going to be a lot of things that are happening in your process that you don't quite understand, that you will want to buck against. You can if you want. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know that that's going to do anything, because your soul is pretty hell-bent at this point on making sure that you get through this period. It's a baptism by fire, baby. Shock of the new. This is not new to you. You've been baptized in the flames before. You have been baptized in the flames before. You'll get through this just like you did the last time. Trust yourself in reverse. It's that lack of trust in self that's making this so much harder than it needs to be. Just trust yourself. You won't be able to trust yourself if you don't allow yourself to feel. What do you feel? But it's in reverse. You keep ignoring what you're feeling. All of these intuitive hits. Sorry, Michael and I are having a private conversation. It's the Lyran purr before I claw the shit out of you. Did you guys know that Lyrans worked closely with Lemuria? Michael says, way to change the subject. Anyways, legacy of light. You come from a legacy of light. You come from a legacy of light. It's time for you to remember the full gravity of your history. You might not know all the details of what you've lived through in this life or even in previous lives, but it's time for you to allow yourself to at least feel it. Diving for light. The most powerful and most brightest parts of your existence are buried very deep within you. Your fear of existing in depth is absolutely messing you up. That's messing up your progression. This discomfort and possible disdain for how deep you need to go to finally commune with yourself, to finally commune with your own soul. I get it though. It ties back to that desire to you just want to be like everyone else, you know? Like you've never felt like you fit in, you've never felt like you belong, and you just want to be like everyone else, not because you're insecure, because you're so tired of feeling alone. You're so tired of feeling like you're on the outside every single time, no matter how welcome you are in a group. You feel like you are partitioned to the outskirts, to the fringes, even though you see them in the center saying, come in, it's okay. But you're just not allowed. Remember, when what you want does not align with what you need, it will never happen for you. No matter how much you adhere to the game, to the rules, no matter how much you put effort into coloring within the lines, you know, I'm very good at reading spaces and reading people and understanding, for the most part, what it is that people want from me. And when I first became publicly visible, I adhered to that. I adhered to that. I knew what people wanted, so I gave them what they wanted all the time, always anticipating their wants, their needs, always overgiving, always being so present, so accessible. And I thought it would be enough. I thought it would be enough. I thought that was the way, that was the path to finally belong. I was invited to spaces straight to the core, spaces occupied by very influential people. And I played by their rules. I tiptoed. I did everything I knew to do. I masked. I effaced. I shrunk myself. I hid myself. I did everything that I thought would help to guarantee a permanent place in that space, a space that deep in my heart I knew I didn't belong in. I knew I didn't fit in. For some of us, you just know, you don't know why, you don't know how, but you just know how different you are. And it's not, I'm different and better, I'm chosen. I'm 144, I'm this, I'm that. It's none of that. It's just this pain and this loneliness that stems from an awareness that you are not like them. You are not like them. You are not like most. I entered those spaces and I did exactly everything by the book. And it didn't mean shit. Because nothing I did solidified their perception that I'm a good person. I was only a good person as long as I was of benefit. The moment I was no longer of benefit, I was absolutely ostracized, which it would have hurt my feelings if I hadn't already committed myself to leaving before they ostracized me. By the time they ostracized me, I was just like, good. So we're on the same page. So we feel the same. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. I get it though. You just want to belong. So long as you continue to try and belong to a space you are not designed to occupy, you will never receive the very thing that you want the most. It was only after I stopped that I received the very thing that I wanted the most. What was that? Our community. That was the one thing. A genuine community that actually loves me for me, where I don't have to basically beg and overgive and martyr myself and do all of these crazy ass things in hopes that you will reciprocate the way I feel for you. I had to be willing to give everything up. And I did. The way I transitioned my platform, my business is solely social media. I don't run any ads. It's solely through live streams, allowing myself to be publicly visible so that when your soul instructs you to find me, you actually can. And so, what did I do? I didn't announce a platform change. I didn't make any posts. I didn't prepare anyone. I was just like, fuck these bitches. I'm sick of their shit. And I left. I left. That was at a point where that social media business was the breadwinner. My husband and I, we work together. We run our businesses together. I said, fine, soul, you want me to leave? Fine. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done fighting you. I'm out. And I left. And then what happened? The community formed almost overnight. Because it was at that point I was no longer willing to wear masks, play roles. I just couldn't. I still can't. I can't fake it and be around someone I don't like. You will know, you can see it in my face. I'll be like, that's literally the faces that I make. Yeah, and Michael has to tell me, "Fix your face." What do you mean, fix my face? Those are my faces. You see, people can never love you for who you are if you never show them who that is. But Emmy, what if they don't like who I am? Their loss. Their loss. It is not a loss to you. There are billions of people in this world. It is not a loss to you. So let yourself be yourself. That's the first step to level up. Against the grain, you don't have to take everything off. When you sand against the grain, you take off tremendous amounts of material. It just eats that material up. When you sand with the grain, which is what the card is telling us to do, if it's in reverse, it's telling us to do the opposite. When you sand with the grain, you're simply refining, you're finishing it off. This is telling you you don't have to become a different person. You just have to let go of the caricatures that you're playing. You're already who you are. That takes zero effort. Zero effort to be you. The effort goes into giving yourself permission to let go of the characters you play as you pretend to be a version of yourself that is not the actuality of who you are. Do you want to level up? This is the price that's being asked to allow you to level up. The price of your new life is at the cost of your old one. A life where you played a character. You tiptoed around the feelings of people who never cared enough to consider how they make you feel. My husband would never ask me to tiptoe around his feelings. Why? Because he loves me to the degree that he supports me just being myself. That's not to say he won't tell me when I'm out of hand. He will tell me, like, you need a fucking nap or something. You need to eat or something, or I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. You need some chocolate. You need something. He'll let me know. But he will never tell me to be anything outside of who I am. He will bring my attention to the way that I am behaving in that moment and how my behavior in that moment is a disrespect to the person I actually am. There's differences. He has never shamed me for being myself. He will call me out, though. I expect nothing less. He will call me out. He will. He don't give a shit. He will call me out. Collaborative dreaming in reverse. This is the point where enough of us stop operating strictly based on dreams. Like, it's not just a dream life, meaning something you one day hope you'll have. This dream life, this perfect existence that you want so bad. The life that you dream of with the peace and the happiness. That's your birthright. It's your birthright. It's all the things that God has already set aside for you. You just need to approve the delivery so they can deliver it. Do you want it? Do you want it? Or are you going to let ego get in the way? There was this collagen gel thingy bobber that I had ordered several weeks ago, and I wanted it. I did. I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. I was like, I want to try it. I want to try it. And it was supposed to be delivered overnight. It didn't arrive. And then they said, oh, the delivery date has been changed. It had me waiting another week. And I'm like, ah. And then so I waited the week. And then the day before I was supposed to arrive, they gave me another notification and they were like, oh, due to supply chain demand issues, it's going to be another 2 weeks. Motherfucker, you just killing the vibe. I'm no longer even excited about that. It's just like, fucking give me what I paid for. And then those 2 weeks go by, and then they're like, oh, we have another issue. Excuse me. Because there's been so many issues, we now need you to manually approve this before we go ahead and continue with the process. At which point I was like, you know what? My ego says, fuck your gel. I don't need no stinking gel. I don't need no stinking collagen gel. No, I will not approve. At which point I clicked no. And then they said, thank you, your order's been canceled. Bada bing, bada boom, done. Bada bing, bada boom, done. That's kind of how soul operates. It's very cut and dry. It's very cut and dry. If you're going to refuse the goodness that it's trying to bring to you, well, it's like, okay, cancel. Cancel the delivery. They don't want the goodness that has been earmarked for them. They're not ready for the delivery. Cancel it. So if you want it, you better act like it. You better let your soul know, like, hey, I want the goodness that has been earmarked for me. Guys, this level up is imminent. For some of you, you've already entered into the early stages of it. You're priming for it. For others of you, you're being given the opportunity to decide. Like, are you ready? Do you want it? Do you want to go through the process to receive it? Only you know the answer. And only your decision is what will be honored by soul. Someone can't decide on your behalf. Like, no, 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 no. They don't mean that. They don't realize they're ready. Just give it to them. No, that's not how soul works. That's not how soul works. It has to be you that decides this. It has to be you that allows this, that welcomes it, that lets it in. Okay? There's a massive shifting that's happening right now. I guess quite a few of you are deciding that you're finally ready to receive what you deserve. Good. And whatever you receive, please know you don't have to share it with anyone else. That's not a requirement. It's perfectly fine if you want to enjoy it just for you, or if you want to enjoy it just for you for a short period before you share with other people. Whatever you decide, it's yours. So decide what's best for you. I am going to just remind you guys, I'll be going live tomorrow for the Ring of Fire ceremony. If you'd like me to work on you, click on that link or the QR code. Let me go ahead and pin that. Oh, it's already pinned. My team is badass. Also, we have the Secure Spaces event. This event is to help address the energetic, etheric intrusion into many of our homes. I'm sick and tired of demonic shit. I can't even tell you how sick and tired of it I am. So now I'm doing something about it for our community. Absolutely. You want to be part of this special event? It's going to be on November 2nd, I believe. Just click on that QR code or the link in the comments. I also have my Baneful Protection workshop. That's coming up very soon. That's going to be in a couple weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. This is going to be a very potent workshop. You guys, I don't know if I shared it with y'all. I think I have. But I made extraction balm and extraction roller. So you're going to have to shake it because you want it to mix. But these are for parasitic circumstance that is causing muscle soreness, muscle fatigue, widespread discomfort, physical discomfort, that is of energetic causation. That's not yet on the website, but I got to tell you guys that. And for those who opted for the enhanced ticket option where you get a kit, that's going to be part of your baneful protection kits. I love it. I love it. I have the Morphogenetic Fundamentals workshop. That's going to be in a couple of weeks. For those who missed out the last time, this is your opportunity to be able to learn the energetic system that I teach. It's a system that you cannot find online. It is an energetic system that I just came into this life remembering. So it's a very unique system. It's very potent. Aside from that, I will be loading more crystals into the crystal shop. I know my personal assistant has been waiting for me to finish my part so that everything can be loaded. But keep checking in, and eventually in the next few days, you'll see that I've loaded some goodies into the crystal shop. Let me show you one. Let's see. What is this? Ooh, it's a smoky quartz. Let's see. Ooh, this one's a flasher. This one has Devix in it. Devix. Ooh, let me get it to flash. Give me 1 second. Not yet. You see the flashing? You see that? Has light codes in it too. This looks like a little universe in there. I would have to move my lights for it to flash properly, but yep. Woo! See-through smoky quartz is the shizzles. And then, oh my God, I don't want to let go of these, but I'm told that I must. Black tourmaline and crystal quartz. Y'all, that's black tourmaline. It's rutilated with black tourmaline. Oh my God, look at that. And then see that? That's a rainbow right there. If I can flash it just right, you'll see it is a rainbow. Ooh. I was going to lick it. I like it. I won't lick anything. Because I know if my husband's watching, he's going to be like, don't lick that. It will be on the shop. It will be there for whenever you guys are ready. Okay, I'm going to get going. I hope you guys can join me tomorrow for that Ring of Fire eclipse fire ceremony. Until then, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell.